Since the beginning of life on Earth, people have predicted that it will one day come to an end.
There's all of these prophecies that can be interpreted to the end of a world age.
These people are not just predicting, they are preparing.
Whether it be economical, whether it be war, rioting in the streets, or
zombies. Bottom line, we're gonna be ready for whatever comes.
for anything.
You can't put this in a persevere rail, can you?
They all do it in very different ways.
How much food do I have? I have as much as I can fit in my bunker.
My mom is the most prepared person in Utah, if not the United States. She's a little crazy.
Ah, let there be light. Light.
As you can see, we've been canning up our meats and things. This was chicken sausage. It really tastes yucky.
This is a very important part of our survival strategy.
You know what this hat says to the police and to the military? It says, that guy's got a gun.
But one thing they have in common, they're all living for the apocalypse.
Got the sucker right in the jugular vein.
We now arrive in St. Louis, Missouri, to meet a man who believes that the world economy is about to collapse, resulting in chaos of apocalyptic proportions.
I don't want to use my real name. I prefer to be known as Survival Doc.
What do you call me?
I call you Lisa.
Then I'll call you Doc.
Sounds good to me.
How you doing, Doc?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. Good to see you.
Well, I think price of silver dropped. I'm here to buy more before it goes up higher. One of the biggest threats that I've always been afraid of is the collapse of the dollar, because that's what's happening. The dollar is buying you less than what it did before. Why don't you give me 10 of these?
Okay.
All right. But the same amount of silver that would buy a gallon of gas, say a few decades ago, will still buy a gallon of gas. I could see this whole scenario coming down the line in the late 80s, and that was when I actually decided to start buying silver.
Right.
Okay, Clay, it was a pleasure doing business
good to
with you,
see
and
you.
I'll be back next time silver makes another deal.
I'll be here.
All right, we'll see.
Thanks a lot.
The government, they can just print money and print money and print money, but they're eventually going to print so much money to where the dollar is going to be worthless. And that is the whole reason for buying precious metals. Most of these rounds I bought with silver was $4, $5 an ounce. Recently, these have been up to as high as $50 an ounce.
Your cup over here is tilted.
Okay,
we
no,
just
I
don't
think
have
I put
room
that
for
right.
all this stuff. I do declare.
I don't want to use my real name, because when the stuff hits the fan, the people who know that I'm storing a lot of silver, they might decide to come over to my place to get my stuff. These are all items that I purchased at estate sales. This little item right here is $150 worth of silver right there, that little item. There are a lot of people out there warning about food shortages. A year from now, it may cost $100 to buy a loaf of bread. So as far as food is concerned, we grow our own food. This is my garden here. Everything in my yard that I plant has a purpose. All this in the back here is a comfrey herb. Comfrey is not something that humans eat, but it is a good food to feed to your livestock. I recommend that all survival-minded people think about producing some of their own meat. I like rabbits because rabbit meat is very delicious. It's a very healthy meat to eat. I only have 8 hutches, so when I'm ready to have baby rabbits, I'm forced to butcher my adults to make room for the babies. Okay, from cage to my freezer. By profession, I'm a chiropractor. My office is in my home. This is my chiropractic office. My patients tend to freak out a little bit when they see blood on my white coat. So I'm gonna go from my bunny butchering coat to my doctor coat to see my patient. What I like about chiropractic and acupuncture is that it doesn't involve pharmaceuticals. It's a hands-on approach. And one good thing about chiropractic, during a apocalyptic time, all you need to practice chiropractic is your hands.
I've known Survival Doc for over 20 years, and he gives you some tips that could really save your life. So yeah, maybe there is some advantage in having a survivalist as a chiropractor.
Greetings, friends. Survival Doc here.
Survival Doc has set up an internet channel to spread the word about preparing for the apocalypse.
Being the Survivor Doc's wife can be challenging at times.
You know what this hat says to the police and to the military? It says, that guy's got a gun.
The Survivor Doc character has taken on a look all by itself.
But I have something important to say. First of all, could you help me get off this pole here?
I don't think I'll ever get him to get rid of the beard, although that is something that I'm always working on. I try to support him with everything that he does, but it's a challenge.
This is my bunker. This is where we keep a lot of our survival supplies.
I call him Pack Rat because it's like he's got two of everything and cans upon cans, and I'm running out of room to store things.
She married for my canned goods. We also have dried foods. This is actually pecans in the shell. We also do our own canning, more canned goods. Have a lot of alcohol stored here, and may wonder why I store alcohol, because I don't drink. But alcohol is a good bartering item.
I'm an organized person. It might not look like it right now, but I am an organized person, and so all this extra stuff that we have in the house sometimes can get the best of me. It's a lifestyle, and it's overrun my house.
The only thing I can think of that I only have one of is I only have one wife, and I believe that one is enough in that regard. This is Survival Doc, reminding you, be prepared or be prepared to be fleeced. Okay, some people wonder why the gas mask filter comes out to the side instead of to the front. Well, here's the reason right here. When the filter comes out to the side, you can aim a rifle, there's no interference. The survival motto is 1 is none, 2 is 1. So if one system fails, we have other systems to fall back on. And here I have my handguns. My wife asked me, how many guns do you need, Doc? And I say, one more than I have now. I have gotten a permit to carry concealed, and I carry actually my favorite gun. This is also a .357 Magnum. This one comes equipped with the laser pointer. I don't go anywhere without this gun. I've even tried to figure out a way that I can go swimming with it, and I haven't figured that one out yet. I have multiple ways of defending my home. If something happens to my guns, then I can defend my family with martial arts.
All right, good evening.
Good evening.
All right. Robert's going to warm you guys up tonight. All right.
The reason I actually started taking martial arts, and I just started about 6 months ago,
Good.
was if I'm approached by someone who has a knife, rather than shoot and kill that person, I'd rather just be able to take the knife away from them.
Stab, stab, stab. Good.
Recently, a devastating tornado passed close to Survival Doc and Lisa's home. Some of the worst damage was on the route that Lisa takes to work.
Look, that house is all totally,
This house is gone. And this was full of trees here. You can see all these downed trees. You can see the broken trees here.
As I see the devastation that has happened, it breaks my heart for those families. You see the damages it's all done, and it hits home. I fear for my kids. I fear for my grandchildren. I just want to be there to protect them, and I know that that's not always going to happen. And the thought that they could be in danger of not having a home, not having enough food to, make it through a week, that scares me.
Obviously, you can't protect everything, and that's the reason, the survivalist motto is 1 is none and 2 is 1, because if something happens to one, then you've got 2 to fall back on. This is a reminder that anything can happen to anyone at any time. There are no guarantees in life, and this reminds you that you could be taken out anytime.
Even though the Survive Doc takes on all his projects that he does, and I give him a lot of grief about that, I'm so grateful that my husband has taken the time to put things together, because when you look and see what's happened in your neighborhood, you realize it hits too close to home. We all need to be prepared.
Watch your step.
Okay.
Greetings. Survival Doc here to talk to you again about survival bags. Well, what will you do if the big one hits while you are at work or traveling to or from work? That is why it is absolutely essential to have a survival bag in the trunk of your car at all times. Miscellaneous supplies, eating utensils, soap, toilet paper, a towel, meals ready to eat, granola bars. There you have it. There are the contents of Survival Doc's car emergency bag. Be prepared or be prepared to be fleeced. Greetings. Greetings, friends. This is Survival Doc. Today, I'm coming to you from down here in my bunker, where I'm getting ready for the fallout of our current economic and political entanglements. Never use food from a can that is bulging. Don't even taste it. This is Survival Doc, reminding you, be prepared or be prepared to be fleeced.
Gidget and Jackie, the Laytons, Survival Doc and Lisa, and the McClung family are all part of a growing number of Americans who feel the apocalypse is near.
He who has the money has the power.
But they all prepare in very different ways.
I really want my children to catch my vision and prepare. I think that's the greatest thing that I could teach them. I could teach them by example.
But what I would recommend that you do, when you buy groceries, just buy a little extra. As each year passes, there is more of a sense of urgency. And I know that I'm not the only one who feels this way.
These supplies is a crutch. Ultimately, you want to be self-sufficient as possible. So the best thing that we could tell folks to do is to learn your skills, because someone can come and rob you and take everything you have, but they can't take your knowledge from you.
Right.
That's something you can never lose.
I feel exhausted a lot of the time because I work so hard. I run 2 businesses and we do all of this preparedness. We are getting older, and so it's a lot of work, but it's very well worth it to us.
Are you sure you don't want me to sell Kitty?
No, don't sell her. I don't know what life will be like after 2012, but Jackie and I will be able to eat some really nice tender chicken and beef and some nice bacon sandwiches.
I'll tell you, people in America, you need to listen up and prepare. Because just a few people can save this whole world.
One thing they have in common, they're all living for the apocalypse.